Hey everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so glad to be here. It's been one of those mornings. A good morning, but a lot going on. So now we can finally just chill out and be here together, right? Very happy to be able to be here with you guys and do the show. So we are live, which means it is the 17th of September. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time, and here we are. So I want to let you guys know that I'm over in the chat room. You can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number 2 radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. That's the way to find us. And of course, I'm also live streaming this event from the chat room. So you can find the live stream there and watch it rather than listen to it if you would like to. You might want to today too, because today is that show where I'm going to read out of the chat room with everybody's decks. So I have a lot of decks in front of me that are decks that people here in the 1-2 family created, and I'm going to read for you from those decks. It's fun to be in the live stream so you can see the cards. So you might want to, just for the fun of it, just for the hell of it, right? Whatever. You don't have to be. You don't have to see the cards. I will tell you all about them. But that's what we're doing today. So I do want to tell you that now would be a great time to pop into my chat. And that, of course, is at the top of the page. You'll see my banner there. And let me know that you'd like a reading, because I should have lots of time for readings today. And I'd love to get to as many of you as we can. So that's what's up. Okay. Big mouthfuls. If you want to watch the live stream later after the show, you'll also find it over on my YouTube channel, which is Domestic Mystic on YouTube. So just FYI, you can find it over there too. Alrighty. So much going on. Oh my God. It rained all night. It is chilly here. It is so fall-y. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. It's in the 50s today, and it feels amazing. So I'm loving every second of it. I'm on my 3rd cup of hot beverages this morning. I started with coffee, moved on to hot lemon water, and now I'm on tea. So apparently it's just going to be an all-day deal for me, but that's what it's like this time of year, right? Last week, I completely forgot to tell you guys about my new t-shirt line. And I was so bummed that I'm going to do it right now so I don't forget. I get all excited about other things, and then apparently I lose my head and don't do everything I came here to do. But I have a new line that is, I called it Where's My Witches At? It is a whole line of witchy shirts. I made a whole bunch of them for myself and my sisters and my daughters, and Scott said, "You're gonna wear all those until Halloween?" No, bitch, I'm gonna wear those year round. Right? We're witchy. It's not just about Halloween, it's about all the time. So in fact, I'm actually wearing, you can kind of see it in the chat room, I'm wearing my Basic Witch t-shirt today. But I have had so much fun with this line, and it's so much fun watching my sisters and the girls wear theirs too. And anyway, I wanted to share it with you guys. So I put a link in the chat room for it. But if you're not in the chat and you'd like to see it, just head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the Joyful Goddess store button, and you'll find all of my t-shirt collections there. So that's how to find it. But yep, having a lot of fun with this one. Okay. All right, now I got that out of my system. I just had to tell you. So moving on to Luminous. Oh, I'm in Luminous. Sometimes my tech skills don't astound me. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to put a link in the chat room. Most of you know that I publish a weekly magazine with a lot of assistance from quite a few of my colleagues over at 1-2 Listen. They bring to us all kinds of articles and art and offerings every week, and I compile them into this lovely magazine that we call Luminous, and I would love to share it with you. You can find it, of course, over on my website, at katie-weaver.com under the Katie's Magazine button. I did put a link in the chat room as well. And you can find Luminous Magazine on Facebook and on Instagram. And I try to highlight somebody's article every day over on Instagram. And I'm trying to get, get my stuff together so I can do that in Facebook too. So that's what I'm working on, but I'm excited about it because this week, the cover, oh my God, the cover. I've been to places that look a lot like this. Probably not this place, but look so much like it that when I found this photo, I had to have it. I have one similar to this from a place I've been, but I couldn't find it. And anyway, this was the cover. It's so beautiful. It's like a pump house, a wheelhouse, and a stream, and there's fall leaves. And yeah, yes, please. I'd like to go there again right now. I've been to a place that looks a lot like this in Montana at Ghost Town. I can't remember which one. Cole something. Yeah, that was helpful. It's a ghost town in Montana. If you were looking for like the funnest thing you could do this fall, just for fun, and you could get yourself to Montana, you would drive all the way through Montana and hit as many ghost towns as you could, because there are a ton of them from the mining days, and they are so cool and so fun to go kick around. Some of them are restored, some of them are not, but anyway, if I had my choice this fall of just taking a few days to just go do whatever the hell I wanted, yeah, I'd be spinning my wheels to Montana, because that in the fall, that's the most spectacular stuff you'll ever see. Anyway, maybe not ever, pretty close, probably pretty close. But that's what the cover reminds me of. So Luminous this week is our Be Your Own Hero edition, because it seems like we need that right now. It seems like we're really being called on to save ourselves, to use the tools that we have to save ourselves from whatever it is. From ourselves, maybe? Sometimes you need to save you from you. Yesterday I realized I was just really grouchy, and it's not really like me to be out of sorts, honestly. I mean, even, I say that, but I think my family would agree. I'm typically not difficult, It's just not really my style. But I was in such a thing yesterday, and I don't even know why, really. I was just not me. And I was en route to Mars. I was fighting with Scott, and it finally occurred to me, this is you. You are the problem right now. And I think sometimes we make a lot of excuses. We put blame all over the place because the worst thing we can think of is putting it back on us, right? It was me. I was bitchy. I was just grumpy and being difficult and unreasonable. And that's where it was. I couldn't take a joke. I don't know. I was a sow. So I finally realized that the pain I was in and the consternation in my home was my fault, and that I was also the only person who could fix it and change it. So a few apologies and reparations later, I was able to fix it, but it definitely took me a minute to take care of that because somehow, some way, I needed to change things. And I did. I did change things, but it took me a minute. But it was a good reflection, I think. It's just a good reflection to realize that we are our own enemies sometimes. Sometimes we really are the root of the problem. And I think when we can recognize that, we are in a little better place to maybe be our own heroes and fix our own lives when it needs it. My article today, I found this note on Facebook yesterday that I thought was so awesome. And I wish I knew where it came from so that I could give them credit. I don't. It was a reshare to a reshare to a reshare, and I don't know. But it was a note to self. What is my purpose in life? I asked the void. What if I told you that you fulfilled it when you took an extra hour to talk to that kid about his life, said the voice. Or when you paid for that young couple in the restaurant. Or when you saved that dog in traffic. Or when you tied your father's shoes for him. Your problem is that you equate your purpose with goal-based achievement. The universe isn't interested in your achievements, just your heart. When you choose to act out of kindness, compassion, and love, you are already aligned with your true purpose. No need to look any further. Isn't that perfect? I loved it. It was so perfect that I had to share it because I get this. I talk to people all the time that want to know. They want to know what's going on. What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing here? And so frequently the answer is similar to this. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep loving more than you hate. Keep helping. Keep being of service. Keep being kind. That is your purpose, right? That's it. It's right there. So I loved that. I thought it was really important to share. I think that we all sometimes get a little mixed up in all of that. And I think it's a good reminder sometimes that it's okay to just be you. It's okay to just do what you're doing. You don't have to do something else. That is your grand design. Be you. Trust your gut. Move forward. Don't get jaded by all of the bullshit in this world. Keep pushing yourself forward, right? Keep being kind. Be kind because that's who you are, not because that's who the other person that you might be across from is, right? That's what it's about. All right. Moving on to Kai's Kaleidoscope. Her article is about Women Friendship Day. I thought it was so sweet. I loved it. I thought a lot about and talked a lot about lately about how much we need to elevate each other, how much we need to lift each other up, how much we need to take better care of each other. And her article just reiterated all of those things for me, and I loved it. So thank you, Kai. Dr. Elisa says, have the courage to live by your own rules. How often are we roped into living by somebody else's? Not happening. Christy's card from Kindred Spirits today is the ACT card. Primary message, action, motion, time to choose, physical movement, create change. The challenge, resistance, apathy and inertia, and indecision. The crystal is the banded agate, and the meditation. I trust my choices and move forward with my plan. Isn't that being your own hero, right? Trusting your choices. Doing what you want to do. There's so much more good in Luminous. The only other thing I wanted to put a big spotlight on today is Jennifer's article. This is, I'm going to get there. Everything is new this week. Everything, which is wonderful. Sometimes it isn't all new. Mostly though, but today everything is new. Jennifer Dove wrote an article this week called Grief. It is her Radiant Poem project. That's on page 23 of Luminous. It is so beautiful and heartfelt, and I loved it, and I wanted to make sure that you guys saw it because she wrote this for her and she wrote it for you. And I think it tore her heart out to do it, but she did it, and I think that it needs to have all of the attention that it deserves. She wrote this based on the grief that she's gone through in losing her mother. She performed it. There's a video there so that you can watch it, but I'm going to go ahead and read it to you right now as well. Grief by Jennifer Lakshmi Dove. I find you, I always do, unfurling heavy wet feathers in your caged chest. My nest sinks down through your belly with the finality of stone, all of the unknowns, everything you thought you could be or might be, gone. My fist constricts your breath, I steal your voice. Nest of stone, tightened lungs, voice erased. Who are you now with only the taste of dirt in your mouth? I loved it, Jennifer. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you put that out for us and all of your thoughts. So I do hope that you have an opportunity to read her entire article here in the Radiant Poem Project and also listen to her read her poem. But that had to be said today. So thank you, Jennifer. That was awesome. Okay. I think that's all in Luminous. Yeah. I mean, it's not all. There's a ton in Luminous. So I do hope that you guys have an opportunity to read it. And if there's anything that jumps out and grabs you, let the author know. It's always nice to hear that we made a splash somewhere. It's what we want to do, right? Not really. What we want to do is just write things that are helpful. We want to follow our gut. Whenever somebody new joins Luminous, they say, is there a theme? Is there something you're going to tell us to write about? No, there's not. I would never do that because I'm asking everyone to come here and write from spirit, to write from their gut, to write what they feel like needs to be here. And because of that, I will never, never, never tell people what they have to write about. But I was thinking about that and thinking about how many of you are writers and write from your guts and bring things that should be shared. And so I want to announce a new column coming. I don't know if it'll be a weekly. It might be an every once in a while. But I want to invite you, dear readers, to submit. I would love to add some kind, it's not like a letter to the editor kind of column really. It's a guest spot, right? If you write something from your heart, from your spirit, that you feel like needs to be seen, send it to me. Let's talk about it. I would love to offer the opportunity to our listeners and our readers to occasionally contribute something to Luminous. Maybe it's a poem. Maybe it's a blog or a writing or a channeled message. You tell me. But if there is something that's burning in your belly that you feel like should be in this spot, I am offering a guest spot to you. So let me know. You all know how to find me. There's lots of ways. But I want to see what you're writing. I want to read it. And if you want to see it in Luminous every once in a while, if you have something to share with us, I'm opening that guest column up. So let me know. I know some of you now have your wheels turning. Some of you are going, oh God, never. Some of you, maybe you already are thinking about stuff you've already written that should be here. You know, maybe it is something about fall. Maybe it's something about winter upcoming. Maybe it's something totally different. Tell me, talk to me. Let's do it. I'm very excited. Okay. All right. Well, moving back to where we are. Okay. So I'm just looking at the chat room here really quick. So don't forget, today is the day that I'm going to read for you from multiple decks. So I'm reading from my deck. I'm reading from Mo Abdelbaki's tarot, Mo Tarot. I'm reading Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. I'm reading from Kindred Spirits, Energy Oracle deck from Christy Brower. And I've got Bitch Scopes in front of me from Kelly McLean. So when you ask me a question in the chat or ask for a reading, I'll just trust my gut to decide which decks to pull cards from, and we'll put together a reading from those decks. So I'm way excited. So make sure that you show up in the chat room here with me and let me know what you want, if you need a reading today. Okay. So that's what's happening. Let's go ahead and let's do some sound healing today. I felt like that's something that we could all probably use a bit of. We're going to actually work on the crown chakra, which is not something that we always do. But I was thinking about how much oh my goodness, there's a ton of stuff going on in chat. Okay, good. How fun. Okay. All right. For some reason, Facebook hadn't updated, and I was like, nobody wants a reading today? Duh, everybody wants a reading. Okay, here we go. We're going to do crown chakra. I've talked to a lot of you guys that your crowns are a little overblown, lots of overthinking going on, hyper conscientiousness. And what I mean by that is too much worry and thought about how you are being perceived by others. Did I offend this person? Did I hurt their feelings? Should I have said that? Should I have not said that? Should I have done this or that? I'm hearing a ton of that from you guys lately. And that's happening up here in the crown. That's where that goes on. And truth? No. You are okay to be you. Here's what I know about so many of you that I know and love well here. You're not mean. You're not jerks. You might have a bitchy moment. Remember, I did. But Quit censoring yourself so much. Quit worrying so much that what you said was maybe the wrong thing or that you're always treading on eggshells. If you have to tread on eggshells with every person in your life to keep the peace, to keep things okay, something needs to give. That is wildly unfair, right? Do other people do that for you? I would guess not. So somehow we have to find a way to shift the script on that. But today we're just going to do the work. So we're going to do two things. I'm going to play the bowl. First and foremost, I would like you to hold space there to shift your consciousness into your crown and just allow the vibration of the singing bowl to dissolve all of that extra stuff going on in your crown. Just absorb it. Let it go. When your crown's too big, it's because you've got all of this thought, right? All of this stuff crackling around in there and causing you to be overwhelmed and maybe anxious and depressed and overthinking, and you're not really able to focus on things that you really want to focus on. There's a lot of reasons why. It sucks. So anyway, we're going to fix it. Okay, so here we go. So just focus your consciousness on your crown with me right now. A couple of deep breaths here to get grounded and centered. Good. Again, we're allowing the frequency of the singing bowl to absorb all of the extra in your crown. Okay, good. All right. First step, right? Okay. Next step, I'm going to play the bowl. This time, we're going to do two things. First of all, I want you to hold the intention that your crown comes into perfect balance. Easy enough. But your crown has a really special role for you in your spirit. Your crown is where you connect to your higher power, whatever that is, right? It doesn't matter to me if this is you. Would you like to connect to the unconditional love of the universe? Would you like to place it in the hands of the goddess or of God? Would you like to send it up into an unknown source? Hand it to Creator? Whatever your terminology is, that's fine. There's no wrong answer here, right? This is about you sending your connection, your cord, into a place that feels loving, that feels nourishing and nurturing to nourish your spirit. That's all. So here's how it goes. You are going to go ahead and send a cord up into the universe, connecting to whatever it is. You're going to pull a silver thread of light from your crown chakra, send it all the way into the universe and plug it in or hand it over to whoever you choose. Okay? Easy enough. This is like a cosmic IV. This is you connecting, right? Connecting to something so that you can get that nourishment. This is your cosmic IV drip to nourish your spirit. We clear and we refresh through the earth, right? But on the flip side of that, when you just want to nourish your body, when you just want to nourish your spirit, this is where you do it. You need this. This is life force energy. Okay. I had to send Scott a quick note. I'm actually noticing out the backyard, out my window. My window from my office looks into the backyard. The pigs are into something out there that I don't think he's gonna like. Yeah, it's like we have toddlers around here. So I had to send him a quick Facebook message and say, pigs in trouble. His pigs, man. Worse than toddlers. Okay. Let's go back. It's time. Okay, so consciousness into the crown. First, of course, holding space for the vibration and the frequency of the singing bowl to bring your crown into perfect alignment, perfect balance. Good. Okay, now shifting a little, pulling a silver thread of light from your crown chakra, sending it deep into the universe and connecting it where you feel is perfect for you. Okay, perfect. So there you are, all connected, all balanced. Hopefully that helps your crown. It should. It should give your crown a good workover. Just seemed like we needed it. It's been interesting. A colleague messaged me yesterday and said, does it feel like the whole world's upside down? And I went, kind of does. We are in a kind of a funny place today. Not today, just this week. In coming off of that full moon, we came out of a place where obviously we were in that full moon energy. It was huge. There were big shifts happening. And then we kind of had the full moon hangover. I felt like full moon energy carried pretty good into Saturday and Saturday night. And then it really dropped us kind of flat. And then yesterday, today, I've noticed a fair amount of drama and pettiness happening amongst people. And in fact, that was the daily dish this morning, was to be really careful about that right now. Don't buy into it. Don't let other people pull your vibe down with drama. It's so not worth it. And we're kind of in a dramatic spot right now. Everybody wants to be a little dramatic. Oh, well, whatever. We can, we can't, whatever. Speaking of drama, it's homecoming week at our high school, and my daughter Mars is playing on a powder puff football team. So she did it last year. This year she was determined that she was not going to play because she got a concussion last year, and she decided to play. So she's the center, which is hilarious knowing how small she is, but doesn't matter. You play where you're needed, right? So tomorrow is the big game. So the juniors play the sophomores. She's a junior. So if they beat the sophomores, then they get to go on and play the seniors. If they lose to the sophomores, they are done. So we'll see what happens. Holding space for no concussions this year, but it was quite the game last year. So I'm prepared. This is going to be hilarious. I think we should make a sign. I'm working on it. Lots of fun. But speaking of drama, right? Good stuff. Okay, just taking a look in the chat room. Okay, Robin said, always love the healing energy of the singing bowls. Thank you. You're so welcome, Robin. Absolutely. Hi, Mary. Mary just popped into the chat to say hi. We sure are thinking about you, beautiful soul. Mary had a major surgery yesterday, as most of you guys know, that we're that are in the chat room with her. We talked about it last week with her on Psychic Sisters. So I'm glad that you're here, sister, and I'm glad that you're doing well. Really, really happy to hear that. So we'll keep holding space for her recovery as well. Mary, you are so loved here. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, Robin says she's grateful for the opportunity to share and her wheels are turning. Sweet. I think we're going to have a fun time with submissions to Luminous. This is a fun thing. I'm loving it. Okay, let's start looking at cards here. Okay. Renee said, I listened to your past life reading yesterday and it was awesome. Thank you. I will let you know more about what I got out of it later. Wonderful. I love that. Past life readings are so fun for me. They're video readings that we do over at, that I do, not we, I do over at 1-2-Listen. And they're so wild because I just do the reading, you know, and usually with very little guidance from you guys. A lot of times the client just says, all right, there you go, do it. Sometimes people will say, I would like a reading about, you know, I'd like to revisit a life that I know I had in Spain or something. And I go look for that life. But a lot of times it's just open-ended. It's just go look, go see what you can find, you know, go see what you can see. And it is so much fun to be able to, after that reading is done and seen by the client, to get to go back for them to talk to me about what, you know, what insights they have to share with me. And it's amazing. A lot of times it's a lot of fun to get to hear from them what, you know, what it brought up for them, what they already knew, what they'd experienced in dreams or in, you know, from other readers or whatever. But anyway, that is the funnest. I absolutely love these readings. I'm going to put a link in the chat room too. If you ever just feel like you want to give yourself a gift or do something kind of interesting, new, different, do a past life reading. They're so interesting and give you so many insights into who you are and maybe why you feel the way you feel about various things. But that is, I think, a gift you can give yourself that you deserve. But while I'm talking about readings quickly, I wanted to share with you guys that it is that time of year again for my autumn equinox reading. The autumnal, that is a hard word, equinox is next Monday. So it's coming up. So I've done so many of these. You guys love them. Some of you guys buy these every single season, and it's really fun to be able to kind of track where we are. So this is a video reading. I'm going to pull cards from the Raven Oracle deck to give you an overview of the next 3 months. I will give you a candle magic ritual and crystal suggestions to connect to the magical months of fall. I absolutely love this reading. It's one of my favorites of the year. That and Witches Runes, which will be coming up in October, of course, but I love this one. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room. But if you want to see these readings, just go over to 12listen.com and look for me, Katie Weaver, and look in my email readings, and you'll see them there. That's how video readings work. You buy them as an email, and then I make a video of myself doing the reading, and I send it to you so that you can watch it as many times as you want, and you'll have it forever. So that's how it works. It is lots of fun. Anyhow, wanted to share that because some of you have already been asking me about the autumnal equinox reading, and it's here. Turn of the wheel. So exciting. All right. So with all of that being said, let's start doing a few readings here. All right, Norella. I'd love to see you here. She said she would love a card. So what did we pull for Norella? Remember, I'm reading from 5 decks. So Mo Tarot is jumping out at me for you, Norella, as is Whispers of Love. So I guess you are getting those too. Okay. I have a little desk for all of these cards, but I want this little desk because it was my mom's, and she sat at this desk and wrote and did magic and did the things she did, and I don't want any other desk. But sometimes this desk is a little small for all the stuff I got on it. But we make it work, right? All right, just shuffling up a little bit here. These are the Mo Tarot cards, by the way. If you're interested in them, you can order them from Mo. And I've heard a couple of times that he's working on deck 2. Most cards are really fun because he did it all. He did all of the artwork on them, which is pretty cool. Okay, All right, I've got one there, but I also wanted to pull a Whispers of Love card for you. So let's do that too. Whispers of Love cards, of course, are Angela Hartfield's. And if you guys know Angie, she is an advisor over at One to Listen. She shows up on radio here every once in a while. And she has 5 decks, I think. She has a brand new deck that's on pre-order at Amazon right now, which is Whispers of the Ocean. And I cannot wait. We have already pre-ordered it. I can't wait for it to come. I'm sure you guys will see it here too, but go check it out. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, Norella, a Whispers of Love card here. Oh, I'm fighting to get this card out, and one falls out because this is the one I was supposed to have, not the one that I was having a battle with. Cards are fun. Okay. Okay, so the 2 cards. So first of all, Mo's card is the Hermit. So that looks like Mo, I think. It is a peg-legged pirate. Maybe it's not Mo. Maybe. He has white hair and a white beard. He is standing on a pirate ship. You can see some, the deck. You can see a bunch of ropes, the sail, and our hermit here. Okay. And then the Whispers of Love card. I want to look at them both because I'm going to tie them together. The Whispers of Love card is have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. And it is a fairy with these magnificent butterfly wings. And she's floating through the sky with all of these butterflies pulling her along. It's a really cute card. Give you guys a look at it here in the chat. Okay, so again, if you want to join me in the live stream, that's a fun way to be able to do this particular show because you get to see all of the cards that I'm pulling. And if you're not in the chat, go to 12radio.com, click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Just ask for entry and Scott will let you right in the door, and you'll find the live stream right here in the chat room. So, all right, Norella, here we go. So the Hermit and the Have Faith card. It comes up really strong for me that this is about you and a new relationship. That you've been the hermit, you have been healing, you have been kind of in your shell for quite a while. I think for a long time there, you didn't really think that that was something you were ever going to really entertain. You know, the idea of another relationship, even just a good friendship. But that's starting to come up really strong now. And I feel like maybe even some opportunities for that have already shown up in your life. And that Hermit card is telling me that you've got to kind of look within and decide how you're spending your time and your energy, how you could be, and maybe make a few changes in that regard. And then, of course, the Whispers of Love card is the Have Faith card. And that, for me, for you, is really having faith in yourself and in your ability to make good decisions and in your ability to bring fun, new opportunities, experiences, and relationships into your life. Right now, Norella, it's about having fun, period. It's about building friendships and having fun and enjoying life. Those are the things that you get to do. If something spins off of that turns into something bigger, great. If it doesn't, great. That's okay. But right now for you, it's about really finding as many ways as you can to keep savoring this life that you have. Okay? If you want some more help with that, I will gladly speak with you privately. That's kind of a private reading for you to have publicly on the show, but we can work on it together later if you want to. Okay, very good. Okay. Robin. All right, Robin, what do you need? I'm going to pull you from my deck. And Kindred Spirits. Okay. All right, so you're going to get a card from the Ground Bless, Protect, and Move deck, and you're going to get a card from Christie's Kindred Spirits deck. So I'm going to shuffle these up really quick. Oh, interesting. Okay. The card that came out of my deck was Archangel Elohim, which is interesting. Well, I'll tell you why it's interesting, but I'm going to get your other card pulled first. I know, sorry. I really like doing this show. It creates a little bit of weird downtime while I'm pulling cards, but I think it's worth the sacrifice because it's fun. And by God, we want to have fun. We take life way too seriously sometimes. Okay. Why do these decks want to fight me today? There we go. Okay. Maybe it's because my hands are little and cold and I'm probably fighting myself. All right, here we go. All right, so 2 cards. The card that came out of the Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck is the Moth. These are Christy's Fractal cards, so I'm going to show you a picture here of it. The Moth. All right, the primary message is perseverance, seeking the light, and change. The challenge is giving up, getting lost, and temptation. The crystal is Tiger's Eye. The meditation is, Dear Moth, please give me the strength to persevere through change. Really interesting because of Archangel Elohim coming up, okay? So Archangel Elohim is an angel of ascension. He's an ancient angel. And his work is all about helping us to ascend. And that reeks of change, right, Robin? And I know that you've been through a lot of change in the last few years. I know since you lost your mom, there's been a lot of need for you to reorganize and regroup a few times. And so what comes up for me right now is that we really work with Archangel Elohim to burn off fear, to burn off doubt, and to burn off hesitations so that you can work with that Moth energy to be really comfortable with ascending, changing, things getting different, better, right? So I want to teach you how to work with Archangel Elohim quickly. And you know, as always with these kinds of readings, they're always for more than one person. So some of you are probably listening to this going, that's me. I need this. So good, because we're going to do it together, okay? So Archangel Elohim's energy is very red. It's like a bright red flame. So Robin and anyone else who wants to work with this energy, just sit with me for a minute, close your eyes. Let's just get into some breath. All right, so first, invoking Archangel Elohim, we're going to allow him to come in on your right side and ask him to surround you in his red flames. He usually starts at your feet and kind of creates a pillar of fire all the way around you, and asking that these red flames of Archangel Elohim burn off doubt, fear, judgment of others, thank you, and any other limitations that could be holding you down or holding you back at this time. Ooh. Now we're just going to allow that fire to burn all the way through you, from your toes to your head, doing his work. Awesome. Okay. Good. Interestingly, I felt a big shift in the very back of my neck. So apparently I needed that too. All right. So we'll release him with our thanks. That's Elohim. So, and some of you are probably thinking, I've never heard of Archangel Elohim before. And maybe you haven't. Years ago, many years ago, when the Psychic Sisters started on CBS radio, on New Sky Radio, we went from an audience of like 100 to an audience of 30,000. And it didn't take long for Christy and I both to feel like we were constantly under psychic attack. What does that mean? It just means that people are attaching themselves to you. Sometimes through negative energy, sometimes just through energy, right? Like there's no really, there's no right or wrong to it. It's not like people are like actively trying to hurt you, usually. You know, most of the time it's just those thought form attachments. But when you are exposed to a lot of people, sometimes those thought form attachments can get really heavy. So anyway, we were both feeling like we had just kind of been under assault, and I'd been doing a lot of clearing and a lot of protecting and a lot of work trying to clear that up. And with all of that happening, I was working a lot with Archangel Michael and Archangel Ariel, and I had asked many times, how can we prevent this from keep happening? Why does this, what do I need to do? And then at one point, it was Michael who said, I want to introduce you. I want you to start working with Archangel Elohim. And I thought for a minute, and I asked him to say the name again. I said, that I am hearing you wrong. And he said the name again, Elohim. And I sat with that for a minute, and I went, that can't be right. I'm hearing it wrong. And he said, no, Elohim, you're hearing it right. And I said, that's a name in the Bible for God. And he said, so? He said, that doesn't really mean anything, did it? But anyway, no. He said, why does that is his name. He said, this is an ancient angel who's been in the service on this planet for an extremely long time. And he's really moving back into service now because he is the angel of ascension, and because he's really here to help us move into a new age of, maybe you want to call it of Aquarius, or the new age of love, or the new age of cooperation that we're trying to move into, right? Anyway, that's how my association with Archangel Elohim happened. And every so often he comes up again that I need to teach other people about him and work with him. So Quelly wanted to know, why did she have a sneeze attack when Elohim came in? That is so interesting. So I wanted to ask, a clearing. Okay. They said it was a clearing that penetrated really deeply into your face, like into your pineal gland, and it triggered that. How interesting. I would challenge you, Quelly, to sit with it and go back to that maybe later this afternoon or tomorrow and call him in again and see what happens. I don't suspect that would happen again, but I would just try again and see, because if it doesn't, I would say, okay, well, mission accomplished. If not, I would ask him to specifically work through that area with you to really burn off whatever it is that caused that irritation in the first place. But yeah, sometimes you will have very visceral physical responses to energy work of various kinds. So it's always interesting. Okay. All right. Robin said that she had never heard of Archangel Elohim. I thank him for coming through. Robin, good. That is exactly what needed to happen today. Okay, let's jump back into the chat here. Quelly says, no, bitch, I'm gonna wear them all year long. That's right. The way we talk, right? Okay. Let's see. I've totally lost my place. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't always really go in order anyways. A lot of times, and I know in shows like this, we never get to all of you. And I apologize for that, except for that, I reach out and grab what I can. So, all right. Terry Richardson. Oh, Terry R. Sorry, not supposed to say last names on the air, but I have two Terrys. All right. Terry said, I bought my ticket last night for Virginia. Woohoo, would love a reading. It's really coming up out of sweary spirituality. So that's what we're going to grab. Oh, I grabbed half the deck and the other half immediately slid under Whispers of Love. Okay. All right. So just one card for you today, Terry, but Terry R. And one fell out. All right. You're going to laugh so hard. The card says, right now, think about something you want to manifest. Congratulations. Hashtag hell yes. And I think actually, and the reason I laughed is because that trip to Virginia is something that you wanted to manifest and you just bought your ticket. So I think honestly, Terry, for you right now, this is just a great affirmation that you're on target, that you need to take that trip, that this is supposed to happen. So Hell yes, right? Awesome. All right. Terry P. How's that? Also wanted to have a reading from whatever deck calls her name, and it is Kindred Spirits. Okay. All right, shuffling them up here with no skill whatsoever. Okay, here we go. Ooh, Terry. It's the Black Panther. I'm going to show you the card here in the live stream. These are Christie's Fractal cards, of course, and so that's what it looks like. All right, here's the message of the Black Panther. Protection, deep emotions, spiritual development, and truth-seeking. The challenge is fear, emotional avoidance, and arrogance. The crystal is hypersethine. The meditation, dear Black Panther, please protect me and guide me as I go deep into myself to find my truth. And I think, Terry, it's a perfect card for you. I feel like really this is one of those great heads up that you really should start working with the energy of the Black Panther. I would do a little bit more research on using Black Panther as a spirit guide or as an animal guide. I would sit in meditation and call Black Panther in. It feels to me like you need a panther walking next to you right now. It feels to me like you have some shifts in your family that it's not shifts. You are taking a stronger stance with people around you. I feel like your boundaries are firming up and basically you're saying, this is how it is, take it or leave it, and that you could use a little strengthening in that. So it's Black Panther. I love that so much. I wonder if you've worked with Black Panther before. I'm kind of feeling like maybe you have. So might just be an invitation to call them back in. I love it. All right, we are just about out of time. But Julia says, weather is gorgeous there, slight breeze, sunshine, wonderful. She said, I would love a reading, particularly if there's any insight into the skin on my back and arms breaking out. That, Julia, feels to me like, okay, what I'm hearing on that is that you need to work on the balance of acid and alkaline in your body, but also on your skin. I would look for a body wash that alkalizes. I would also ask your naturopath about that and about what their opinion is on how to alkalize your body, and make sure that that process is happening. You don't have to be radical with it. Sometimes people get way too radical with alkalizing and make themselves sick. You don't got to do that, but you do need to work with a naturopath so that you can do it correctly. But I would look first and foremost for an alkalizing body wash and see if that helps to clear it up, and talk to your doctor about it, because it feels to me like this is something that can clear up. So, all right, you guys, we have done what we do. We have talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to invite you to join me on Thursday with the Psychic Sisters. I would love to see you over at 1-2 Listen. I'll be over there for the rest of the day and evening. If I can help you with anything, I would love to. So thank you all so much for being here. You've been listening to The Katie Weaver Show, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.